Hi, this is Bill for SparkyChannel.com. Today I'll show you how to use a DeWalt 6" by 7/8" 80 grit flap disc sander and a Freud Diablo grinder sander conversion kit to make short work of sanding down and preparing this rusty metal deck railing for painting. This is my DeWalt 60-volt max grinder. Any grinder should be able to do this job, but it's really nice to have a portable one because the cord will really get in the way when you're trying to get to all the areas of the railing. Also, since this DeWalt 60-volt max grinder can take a 6" grinding flap disc, it has the reach to be able to get in between the railing. First, I'll remove this 4" flap sanding disc from the grinder. This is the kind that comes with a built-in 5/8" bolt. My method is to press the locking button, grab the sanding disc by hand, and turn it counterclockwise until it comes loose. You can also use the Allen wrench that comes with the grinder. Since I'm going to be putting on a 6" flap disc, I will need to take off the 4" guard and replace it with the 6" guard that comes with the grinder. Turn the 4" guard until it is at the top position of the grinder. Align the small tabs and pull the 4" guard off. Now grab the 6" guard and put it on in the reverse order that you took off the 4" guard. Once again, align the small tabs. Press it down and turn it to the position that you prefer. Here's my 6" flap disc. Notice it doesn't have a built-in bolt. Instead, it has a 7/8" arbor hole. This is called an unthreaded backing flange. It has a 5/8" hole which fits over the 5/8" threaded spindle of the grinder, but it also has a raised 7/8" area built into it. Screw on the locking flange in a clockwise manner. I'll put my finger on the spindle lock button and tighten the 6" disc by hand. You can feel when it's tightened all the way. Check it with the provided Allen wrench to make sure it's tight. Wear goggles, respiratory protection, hearing protection, long sleeves, and gloves. Adjust the guard so that sparks and debris won't come flying at you. I'll use the sanding flap disc on the rusted areas of the railing. It's quite aggressive and it takes the paint right down to the bare metal, which is what I want to do on the rusted areas. For the rest of the railing, I'll use a grinder sander conversion kit, and that'll do a nice just sanding on the rest of it. But these rusted areas, I want to just basically take down to bare metal. So this grinder is working at 9,000 RPM, even with a 6" disc like this one. So it's just taking it down, and you see I've got the guard so that's protecting me. You always have to turn the guard the correct position so that it keeps any debris or dust and so forth from coming at you. So now I'm doing the bottom down here, and here's another rusty spot. I'm going to get that one, and I'm going to go all through all the rusted spots of this section. After finishing up all the rusted areas, I'm going to go ahead and take off the flap disc sander. Now here's the lock nut that comes right off counterclockwise, and then take off the flap disc sander, and then you take off the flange. And now I'm going to put on the conversion kit. This is a grinder sander conversion kit. That's a 4" piece. And this disc can be any size you want between 4 and 6 inches. That's a 4.5" disc that I just happen to have there. It's 80 grit, but it's much less aggressive than the flap sander disc. It's good for just general sanding of the railings. So I'm going to tighten that down. I'm going to put my finger down on the spindle lock mechanism, and you take the whole thing and just turn it, and it's going to bottom out. See right there. It won't go any farther. And you can double check it with the Allen wrench if you like. And now I'm going to put the battery back on. Of course, you take the battery off whenever you put on or off a disc or sanding pad or anything onto the grinder. So here I am using the sanding disc to just do a general sanding of all of the railings. This particular grinder is nice and light. You notice I can handle it with one hand, and you can get it in between the rails, and it works really well. And please pardon my painting clothes, because that is the next step. We'll paint it after everything is all sanded and cleaned up. You have to get all the dust off of it. We'll blow it off, wipe it off, whatever is needed. Just get everything nice and clean, and a little fine sandpaper just by hand for some areas that you couldn't get and so forth. And when everything's nice and clean, then it's time to paint. Here's the section of the railing after I finish sanding and cleaning it. The first thing I'm going to do is paint it with clean metal primer. I'll pay particular attention to the bare metal surfaces. Then, after the bare metal primer dries, I would normally roll on the protective enamel with a small foam roller, but because on this particular day there was rain in the forecast, I decided to paint it with the spray protective enamel because the spray paint dries so much faster. Here's the finished product. I'll put links in my video description for the DeWalt 60 volt max grinder, the DeWalt 80 grit 6-inch flap disc sander, the Freud Diablo grinder sander conversion kit, and all the grinder accessories you see here that make a grinder extremely versatile. Also, I'll put links for the Rust-Oleum products that I used to paint the railing. Thanks, I hope this video was helpful.